What's up, guys? My name is Kobe McCartney. Pretty much the first video is a continuation. We talked about weightlifting and cardio, pros and cons. So today we're talking about my favorite exercise of the big three. Big three excluding bench, squat, and deadlift. This is the deadlift. So now all bars in this gym here at Bodyworks is 45 pounds. So you got a 45-pound plate on each side, so it's a total of 135. I'm gonna just do lightweight just to show you guys different variations. Now, I've been lifting since I was 12 years old. I'm 25. I had a lot of anger issues when I was a kid, so lifting, you know, it's a good form of therapy, exercise, like I did manage in the first video. So, this is really beneficial to me, and then also, what's really nice about this lift, if you do it correctly, you're working roughly around 20 to 24 muscles in the body. You get your abs, your hamstrings, your quads. The major muscle groups is your lower back and your lats. So also it's going to be one of the exercises that I told you, because it's a form of weightlifting. It slowly burns your calories more than what it does with cardio. Your cardio, of course, is going to be your fastest burning calories. So now for intermediate and advanced lifters, it does take a while to get warmed up. I do recommend, you know, for the beginners, if you're not comfortable with the weight that you have on the bar, just go low. Drop about 10 or 20 pounds. You're technically supposed to use a belt if it does feel heavy for you, but you know, to me, this ain't heavy at all. And also, in my opinion, you can get a little bit too dependent on the belt, and it can kind of mess up your lifts in the long run, and you don't want that. You want to become as strong as possible when in powerlifting, because this is what this technique is for. Now, this is known the king of lifts. You can research it, whatever, it's the first thing that's going to pop up. Squat is your secondary and your bench is your third. So we're just going to go ahead and right on in move, and I'm going to show you over grip as part of the conventional deadlift. Now it is one of my favorites because what it's doing, like I said, it's going to work your pretty much your quad and your hamstring. It's going to help with a little bit of your calves, but it's also mainly all about your stance with this one. So what I'm doing is I get the lines here on the bar, my feet are my shoulder length apart. So pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm just go ahead and squat down, make sure everything's nice and tight. Hips are locked into place. Knees are same as toes. Set up evenly. And when I pull down, I'm going to squat. Breathe in. Exhale. And then back down. Now, what you don't want to do in this type of form is be talking to one of your neighbors or whatnot and then still lift, because you're going to feel a lot of pressure in your lower back. So you're asking, you know, mainly for your injury, say pulling muscles could be your minor. If you have 4 or 5, you know, heavier weight, you're asking for spinal injury, maybe, you know, causing being paralyzed, I'm sorry. So go ahead and roll it over into a different grip. It's going to be the under-over technique. Same style of lift though, it's going to be conventional. So I'm going to squat down again. I'm right-handed domain, so of course my right hand is going to be the over, and my left is going to be the under. Once again, breathe in, up, and then exhale at the bottom. Still everything's nice and tight. But see, what this lift is when you get into heavier weight, I noticed that it does take a little toll on your tendons. That is one of the cons with it. But as soon as you get that lift, you're going to feel that tendon in your bicep pull. And then when you get up into roughly around 6 or 7, and say that even in conventional or sumo lifts, take a chance of pulling it. So, well, I'm going to go ahead, speaking of sumo, I'm going to go ahead and show you that lift. Now what that does is it mainly works your hips. It's not as much pressure on your lower back. It's mostly hips and your quads and your hamstrings. So notice that it's a wider stance. My feet are outside of my shoulders. I'm still going to squat, make sure everything's nice and tight. And I always start with the under-over grip for sumo. Same variation. Breathe in, exhale. One more time. Now notice I felt that mostly right here in front of my hips and my quads. But this variation of lift lets you lift a lot more weight. I mean, you're talking about 500 or 600 pounds. But to me, I've always liked conventional, because to me, deadlift is mainly back. Excuse me. Now go ahead and rolling into the cons of powerlifting with the deadlift. It's bad on your joints. High risk injury when you move up. People lifting ignorant, not using a belt when you need it. And for powerlifting, I recommend a 10 millimeter or 13 millimeter. To me, personally, more padding, more comfort, less injury. But pretty much, I think that's all I got wrapped up for today that I can talk about. Want to thank Austin for videoing, Ethan and Brian being out here, being part of my audience, and that's pretty much it. Appreciate you guys. Have a good one.